Chosen Wilkins
if you get aggravated, you're feeding into
made a lie
what is
and said
accusing you
that
of.
I tried to hurt myself. Chosen Wilkins.
You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent her to the hospital? Man, bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time.
You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Yaz's mom brought Yaz to Charlie. And Charlie came and got me and was like, what you want to do? You doing gay porn and like, what is wrong with you, man?
When do you stay up till?
I stay up till like maybe 6 in the morning. I'm back up at like 10:30, 11.
6 in the morning. What do you do every night till 6 in the morning? You don't go to clubs every night.
No, I mean, I make love a lot. And,
Terrence Howard is back in the headlines again, and this time he's making waves by speaking on what he claims was happening behind the scenes during the peak of Empire. According to recent chatter online, Terrence has allegedly begun opening up about disturbing industry behavior, claiming that there was a much darker side to Hollywood success than most fans ever realized. With new discussions circulating about high-profile names being connected to alleged trafficking networks, many people are now looking back at old rumors with fresh eyes, wondering if the industry has been hiding secrets for decades. A major part of the conversation revolves around actor Bryshere Gray, known for playing Hakeem Lyon on Empire. For years, many people believed Bryshere simply walked away from acting and ended up spiraling into personal struggles. Some assumed he abandoned his career by choice, while others mocked him online, claiming he had fallen off and was doing whatever he could to survive. But now, these new allegations suggest there may have been much more going on behind the scenes, and that his downfall may not have been random at all. According to the claims being repeated online, Terrence Howard suggested that Bryshere was allegedly being pushed into a so-called mentorship program, which on the surface appeared to be a career opportunity. However, behind closed doors, it was rumored to be something far more sinister. The story being circulated alleges that Bryshere's own mother and former manager may have played a role in placing him into the hands of powerful industry figures. People now speculate that he may have been exploited while he was still young and vulnerable, and that his rapid decline could have been linked to trauma from those
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the
Hell
consequences
yeah.
when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He was like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman.
Experiences. Terrence Howard also shared a personal story about Sean Diddy Combs allegedly attempting to approach him in a suspicious way. According to Terrence, Diddy invited him repeatedly under the excuse that he wanted acting lessons. Terrence said he found it strange because Diddy could have hired a professional acting coach, yet instead kept requesting him specifically. Terrence claimed that, when he arrived, Diddy barely spoke about acting at all and instead seemed to stare at him, making the situation uncomfortable. Terrence said the vibe felt off, and after his assistant warned him that Diddy might have had other intentions, he cut off communication entirely. During the same discussion, Terrence implied that Diddy had a reputation in the industry for allegedly turning out young men. While he did not directly name Bryshere Gray for legal reasons, many listeners believe that was who he was referencing. Terrence made it clear that he believed there was a pattern of predatory behavior happening in the entertainment world, and he claimed that multiple producers and executives would allegedly try to approach actors in inappropriate ways. Terrence explained that in his own experience, He always made it clear he would not tolerate being treated like someone's target or plaything. One of the most controversial parts of this story involves
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Who knew that your husband was doing things to boys and did stuff to your son and you ain't do shit about it? Bilal told me everything.
Their good friend who
Bilal told me, Jada. He told me that you knew Will was f***ing your child. Yes, he did. Wonder why he left that out of his Tasha K interview.
Yeah, in that interview, he said a lot. He said a lot.
He said everything but the thing that was important. That he know that Will Smith, Jaden, he raped Bryshere and he raped Meek Mills.
Involves the idea of masculinity and power. Terrence spoke about what he described as losing your man card, explaining that in his view, a man is supposed to be dominant, not submissive. He implied that when someone is forced or manipulated into humiliating sexual situations, it damages them psychologically and emotionally. His comments were extremely harsh, but they were used in the narrative to highlight how these alleged industry predators, supposedly, strip victims of dignity and control. As the rumors continued,
I'm talking about Bryshere. Continued
to spread, another name resurfaced. Jaguar Wright. Jaguar has long been known for making explosive allegations about the music industry, often claiming that celebrities are involved in secret exploitation networks. While many people dismiss her as unreliable, others argue that several things she has spoken about in the past later became public knowledge. In this situation, Jaguar allegedly accused Bryshere Gray's mother of knowingly allowing him to be exploited. She also accused Charlie Mack, a music executive connected to the industry, of allegedly facilitating the situation. Jaguar went as far as claiming that Bryshere was passed around between powerful men in the name of mentorship, and she suggested that his mother benefited financially from keeping quiet. Jaguar's statements were filled with rage as she accused Bryshere's mother of betrayal, implying she traded her son's safety for money and access. She alleged that Bryshere was not protected by the people who should have been defending him the most. According to Jaguar, the situation
that came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago State to be ready for filming. She knew she knew what Will did to him.
The situation was so bad that at one point, Bryshere's mother allegedly came to her begging for help, expressing regret for allowing him to be around certain individuals. Jaguar claimed she advised her to separate from Charlie Mack and remove Bryshere from California, but she suggested the mother ultimately stayed involved because the money and industry benefits were too tempting to give up. As these allegations spread, people began tying them into broader conspiracy discussions, especially with renewed interest in Jeffrey Epstein-related material. Many online commenters claimed that Epstein was only one piece of a larger network, suggesting that powerful entertainment figures were operating similar systems of exploitation. Some even speculated that Diddy was running his own operations separate from Epstein's, and that these circles were competing for influence and control. While none of this has been proven, the rumors have fueled non-stop debate and outrage online, adding even more fuel to the fire. A man known as Brother Bilal, who claimed to have been close to Will Smith and worked as his assistant, began doing interviews where he made shocking accusations. In one of his interviews, he claimed he witnessed Will Smith in an explicit encounter with actor Dwayne Martin. He described walking into a room and allegedly seeing something sexual happening. The graphic nature of his description caused major backlash and viral discussion, with many people questioning his motives and credibility. Still, the story spread rapidly because it aligned with
our robbing Chicago for Empire. It's a damn mess. It's no other way to put it. This dude is going crazy, right? He's out there allegedly with male prostitutes. He's pissing in the trailer. He's acting psychotic, right?
The same thing he's doing now.
Beyond that. But this is why a show is going on. I pulled him to the side. I said, listen, I'm here to help you and so forth and so on. So he was like, all right, I feel that. He said, everybody on the set know you. Everybody seem like they love you. Okay. I want to love you because everybody else love you. I said, if that's what you want to do, then do it. But he kept acting up. And then one day I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. He said, you know Will me. You know Diddy made me suck his penis. You know what's going on. You know Charlie made me suck. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Somebody stole 2 hard drives from Jada's house. So now we get into why she's even more mad. Jada will watch at the houses. She had her laptop. She would stick her hard drive in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV. And she could play whatever video she watching. So I'm seeing videos of her and Will and a bunch of other, some celebrities, everything. Because remember, the last interview I told you, if you don't sue me, I'm gonna let people know who you've been hitting with them dildos. And I said, if you don't sue, I'm gonna sue. So I told you, being Muslim, whatever I say I'm gonna do, that's what I'm gonna do, period. And I gotta have evidence. So she's sitting down here watching, playing with herself, high as a kite, right? Not caring who's in the house, whether kids watching, nothing. She's in her own world. So that's how I was able to see the tapes. I saw them, and I saw some things that were unreal, and I saw celebrities on the tape.
Ooh.
I'm under penalty of perjury. If anything in here is a lie, my ass going to jail, period. There's no if, there's no ends, there's no buts. You know what you and Diddy was doing together in y'all younger years. All that's coming out.
Who else did you see allegedly on the tapes?
Tyrese with Will and Jada. Then the one with Charlie Mack and Will. Jada's not on it, but you can hear her say, make him spit up, period. So when these tapes come out, people will know I'm telling the absolute truth. Allegedly. So it's time for everybody that got a credible story, I should say, to start the process.
Long-running rumors about Will Smith's personal life. Brother Billo continued making claims, stating that he had also witnessed explicit tapes and private videos involving multiple celebrities. He claimed that Jada Pinkett Smith allegedly watched these videos openly in her home and that he personally saw recordings involving famous people. He even alleged that hard drives containing these videos were stolen, and he suggested the stolen material could eventually leak. However, he did not provide evidence, and many people questioned whether his claims were real or exaggerated for attention. Billo also alleged that Bryshere Gray suffered severe emotional breakdowns while filming in Chicago. He claimed Bryshere was acting erratically, using substances, and struggling mentally while the show was still running. According to Billo, Bryshere allegedly confided in him during one breakdown, crying and claiming he had been abused and manipulated by powerful men in the industry. Billo said Bryshere's distress was so intense that he appeared physically ill, with blood coming from his nose. This part of the story disturbed many viewers because it painted a picture of someone unraveling in real time while surrounded by people who allegedly ignored the warning signs. At this point, many people online began asking the same question: if these things were happening, why didn't anyone step in? Why didn't Terrence Howard, other cast members, producers, or executives do more to protect Bryshere? Supporters of the theory argue that Terrence may not have had legal authority to intervene, especially if Bryshere's own mother and management were involved. Others believe that the entertainment industry is structured in a way that rewards silence and punishes anyone who speaks up. The fear of being blacklisted, sued, or destroyed publicly is often enough to keep people quiet, even if they witness disturbing behavior. Still, critics argue that many of these accusations remain unverified and are based heavily on rumors, speculation, and sensational storytelling. They point out that people like Jaguar Wright and Brother Billo have made many claims in the past without evidence. They also stress that social media thrives on viral outrage, and once a story catches fire, it becomes difficult for the public to separate truth from exaggeration. Even so, Terrence Howard's comments added weight to the discussion because he is a mainstream actor who worked directly within the Hollywood system. As the conversation continues, public reaction has been intense. Many commenters have expressed horror at the idea that young performers could be manipulated and exploited under the cover of mentorship programs. Others have directed anger toward parents and guardians, arguing that anyone who would allow harm to come to their child for money should be held accountable. Some have even said prison would be too easy for those involved, calling for harsh punishment and public exposure. Whether true or not, the allegations have triggered a deeper discussion about how vulnerable young stars are when they enter the industry, especially when they come from unstable backgrounds or lack real protection. The situation has also reignited debates about how Hollywood power dynamics operate. Many believe the industry is full of gatekeepers who use fame, money, and career opportunities as leverage to control others. Stories like this, whether proven or not, remind people of how easily exploitation can hide behind glamour and success. It also highlights how victims often get blamed, mocked, or dismissed once they fall apart, instead of being supported or understood. Ultimately, the allegations surrounding Bryshere Gray, Terrence Howard, Diddy, and other celebrities remain a mix of public claims, viral rumors, and unproven accusations. Some people believe the truth is finally coming to light, while others feel it's another case of the internet running wild with conspiracy theories. What cannot be denied, however, is that these stories have struck a nerve, and the public is paying attention in a way they haven't before. If even part of these accusations turns out to be true, it would confirm what many have suspected for years, that the entertainment industry has a hidden side filled with manipulation, abuse, and people willing to sacrifice others for power. Now the question remains, is this simply messy internet gossip being fueled by shock value, or is it a glimpse into something much darker that has been hidden for decades? Either way, people are watching closely, and the pressure for accountability is growing louder by the day.